Hey guys, and welcome back to the third game in our placement series for Season 11 on our Journey to Platinum. Now in this game, as you can see, we're playing Xayah Morgana against an Ashe Alistair in lane. We'll just pick up our items before sort of talking about the team comps. So looking at the teams, both are pretty standard team comps, I would say. We got the Pantheon mid this game, which is really good for us because Pantheon is pretty strong at the moment, bordering on broken. But they also do have a Malphite, which is generally pretty good in lower elo. So, yeah, I don't know, team comps in this game are pretty standard overall. There's nothing really special to talk about. With the summoner spells and rune choices, again, there's nothing really that I can see that's too out of the ordinary. I have taken Cleanse obviously because of the Ashe, but again, that's pretty standard, I feel like, against Ashe lanes. My last couple of games of Xayah I haven't been able to do too well, unfortunately, so hopefully we'll be able to sort of change that a bit this game. And the reason I did pick Xayah was because of the Malphite ult, the Ashe ult, the Lux ult, and also to be able to ult at the end of perhaps Kindred ult as well, if they have a lot of burst or whatever that's sort of set up to destroy me right after the ult finishes. So that'll sort of give me a little bit more time of invincibility. So we'll just play out this lane and see how the rest of the game goes after that. We will head into lane the safe way though. Even though Alistair is pretty terrible level 1, the Ashe will be able to just continuously slow us with auto attacks, so they could still end up putting out a lot of damage before we even manage to get into lane. But they did have to leash as well anyway, which is generally how these things go, so we'll just get another auto onto the Alistair there as well. Okay, now we just do want to step back a little bit here, and we will pick up those CS as well with our Q. Now they will probably hit level 2 before us just because of the way the Ashe is pushing. So we do have to be careful here. Okay, but the Alistair will does here. But we can get a decent amount of damage off on him. If we'd had level 2 when he went in like that, we could have used our E as well to get the extra damage off on him. But yeah, the Ashe will manage to get a lot of damage off on us there, so we'll use our potion. We should have just played a little bit further back there. I thought there were still a couple of minions left before they hit level 2, but I hadn't realised that one of the other ones had actually died. So they did manage to hit level 2 before I was expecting it. Now the Alistair does still have flash, so he could in theory just flash on me at any point. And he does still have a couple of potions left as well, which he hasn't used, because Alistair does have some built-in sustain in his kit. Looks like there's a lot going on in the top lane right now. Pantheon and Kha'Zix have both gone up there to try and help out. They did manage to get the Kindred's flash. Ooh, we'll just E there for a little bit of damage in case the Alistair does step up, but he didn't step up, so ended up being a bit of a waste of an E, but that's alright. Now at the moment we are just kind of using our Q to farm a little bit. And we will miss out on that minion anyway, so I figured I might as well just... Oh, okay, we can actually get that minion there. And we will just use our E there to get some extra poke off, because we weren't going to be able to get in range for the extra auto with Alistair walking up to us like that. Ideally I would have wanted to walk up to the Ashe to get the third feather down, so that we could have got the root off, but as I said, with Alistair sort of playing that aggressively, there wasn't really a chance for me to do that without taking a lot of damage in return, and probably losing the trade overall. So again, we'll just stand back a little bit now, because the Ashe can just get more reliable poke off on us, and can also slow us while doing it, which makes it very hard for us to get away. If we figured out that we've taken a bad trade, by the time we're able to get out, she can generally put down a lot more damage anyway. So just got to be a little bit careful of the Alistair here. He did turn around there as I used my Q, unfortunately. Okay, we won't be able to get that minion either. Well, we should be able to get this cannon minion here. And hopefully that one. But yes, we're all good. Okay, just make sure we're trying to stay behind minions here. Now our team did also get a kill there, which is good. We got it on the Pantheon. So Pantheon is living up to his thing of being generally pretty good. Now I will just step back here because I don't have heal or anything, but it looks like Morgana's just going to kill herself. Oh, okay. Alistair did flash on me there. And it looks like this is actually going to go very bad. Does Kha'Zix have flash or anything? He will get the Ashe, but he didn't have flash, by the looks of it. Played that pretty badly on our end. So we'll just pick up the pickaxe here and head back to lane. I was considering just queuing into that bush, but I didn't want to risk missing it. Because there is still obviously a chance that I could have missed it. I could have walked into this bush and then just queued from there, in hindsight. But I also just wasn't really paying attention to whether Alistair had flash or not. So the Alistair does end up coming out of that with 2 kills and the Ashe with 1. But our Kha'Zix did manage to pick up a kill down there as well. So, you know, not the worst, but definitely not the best. Ashe will likely come back with a Noon Quiver, I would say, because she'd managed to get the kill and 2 assists, whereas I didn't quite have enough for the Noon Quiver, so I have to come back with just the pickaxe. Oh, and unfortunately that minion did well, just slightly into the tower there. So we'll just have to play a little bit more careful this lane now that they are ahead of us like that. We did manage to steal the Ocean Drake. Yeah, we won't be able to make it over there to get a root on the Ashe. But we will be able to just sort of keep the wave slow pushing. And once the next wave sort of arrives, that's where we can try and hard push it into their tower. Okay, we aren't going to get that minion, but we will get that one. Okay. Now, again, trying to be careful of the Alistair there. Get some damage off there. I accidentally put an extra point into my Q there. And we will just get some damage off on the Ashe while also securing that minion there. We will head up into this area here to get a ward over here. Oh, unfortunately the Alistair is just going to probably immediately clear that though. So they do have a control ward there, which I wasn't aware of. Morgana did manage to land some damage onto the Ashe there. We will just get some damage back on the Alistair there. Unfortunately I didn't quite manage to land the auto onto the Ashe, but that's okay. We will manage to pick up the Alistair kill there. Well, Morgana will pick it up, but we as in the lane. Give our Morgana a bit of a emote there just to let her know good job. And we do kind of just want to leave now, but looks like we might have to just fight this out. And it looks like the Morgana just decided to go onto... She did get them both for that, but yeah, I would have preferred if the Morgana had sort of stayed and helped me out, because I don't have heal, I have cleanse. So, and I feel like at times the... Oops, wrong button there. I feel like at times the Morgana... Man, I'm really not good at this. I feel like at times the Morgana has forgotten that. Oh, there goes Ashe ult. I feel like the Morgana has just felt like I'll probably heal myself, when in reality I don't have heal. Alistair has chosen to roam up mid lane while the Ashe was down. But hopefully... but I'm sure he'll be back anyway, so not too big of a deal. And we're not going to be really able to abuse her too much by then, I don't think. Pantheon did look for a roam down here, but I don't think he's going to be able to do too much. And I can't really get over there because of Ashe, so I'm just going to try and push this in as fast as I can to prevent the Ashe from going up there. Which overall, I think I was able to do fairly okay. We did trade a kill on their Kindred for a kill on our Pantheon. Okay, and Morgana is actually going to walk that way back into lane, so I will have no choice but to ult there. Okay, we'll get a lot of damage onto the Alistair there. We will force the ult out of him. Oh, and the Morgana didn't manage to land her flash binding, unfortunately, there. Well, that's okay. I appreciate the effort. Okay, so now we'll just push this wave in. And yeah. Now we'll head up and try and get the honey fruit, because I do not have any mana left, basically. And it looks like Kha'Zix has found himself in a spotted bother over there as well. So Pantheon needs to be a little bit careful here, probably. But I will head up towards him in case. But he's just going to die anyway. And I didn't manage to get the root on the Kindred there either. So Pantheon just played a little bit too aggressively there. If he landed his... Oh! Okay. Yeah. Oh, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get the extra auto on the Lux there or anything. So, that all stemmed from the Pantheon playing too aggressively. Because we knew that they were in the area, and the Pantheon just didn't seem to care about it. And now he is just going to ult down there into the middle of them. Which I would really highly recommend against doing right now. But it looks like he doesn't really care anyway. And he's just going to go in. But it is Pantheon, so who knows, it might work out. But I don't really imagine that it will. Yep, and they are just going to trade a kill for a kill again. So, I'm not really sure if that's what I would call a worthwhile trade. But, oh well. Especially considering the Kazakhs did also have to flash for it, but the Nasus did manage to get a shutdown onto the Malphite. So, no, not the worst thing. And that will leave us a little bit of free time down here with the tower. So we should be able to pick up 1 or 2 plates. Probably 2 for ourselves. So that's about a kill's worth of gold. Just over. Okay, we actually couldn't get the second plate there. But we will manage to pick up a dragon here. And we will be able to pick up the plate in a second. Cool. And yeah, we will just make sure we walk on out of here. Do we need to ult this? Yes, we do. But unfortunately the Kazakhs and the Morgana weren't here in time to really help out too much. They need to get the Alistair and try and leave, but the Malphite did TP and ult down. So, not really too much to do there. And unfortunately this Xayah game isn't exactly going any better than the other ones did. If I'd had my cleanse there, then I could have been completely fine. I don't think my flash was up at the time when the Ash ult came through, but I'll have to have another look at that. Looks like Pantheon might be in a spot of bother here. Can he at least get the kill onto the Kindred? No, he can't. So it looks like they are just sort of dogpiling the mid lane now. I actually thought this game would go a lot better with the way the stats were looking pre-game. But, hey. It's just the cards we've been dealt this game, unfortunately. And yeah, as I said, me myself, I'm not playing necessarily any better than I have been the other 2 Xayah games on the channel so far either. But I do really like the champ, and I do think that she is still viable. I just don't think I've been playing her particularly well. But we'll do what we can here. So Nasus did manage to get a kill onto the Malphite. So that's good. Nasus is just scaling, so even if the rest of us don't play amazingly, hopefully the Nasus will be able to just sort of make up for that. But he's probably just going to die here to the Kindred and Alistair. Oh, or he's just going to kill them both. Okay, that wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but I will take it. Now, I do want to wait 10 seconds here for my cleanse, but the Morgana has actually showed up, so I potentially don't even have to do that anymore. Okay, we didn't manage to land the binding onto the Ash, but that's okay. Oh, okay, we are just going to have to cleanse there because the Morgana's spell shield was a little bit late. I was thinking that the Morgana would be able to just spell shield me there, but it was not to be. Oh, and I misclicked my button there. I pressed R instead of my 1. I don't really know how I managed to misclick that one, but that's okay. I guess I'm just feeling a little bit tilted and stuff now from not doing as well as I would have liked. But that's okay. We'll just try and calm down a bit with it and bring it back. We did manage to get a lot over there in the top lane though with the Nasus and the Kazakhs. Mainly the Nasus sort of outplaying them up there. But yeah, we'll just head back down to the bot lane now and try and continue farming. I did see the Alistair around here, so yep, he's come back. I am still ahead of the Ashen farm, but she's 7 kills ahead of me, so that extra 8 farm doesn't really matter all that much in reality. Kazakhs will be able to pick up a double kill though, and he does need to be careful of the Alistair. So my main problem this game has just been sort of, I guess, just sort of the tilt, sort of what's causing most of my issues. And now the Ashe does have a Kraken Slayer, so I need to just play very cautiously right now. And yeah, she could, in theory, also tower dive me if she really wanted to. But she's not going to right now. I was wondering if the Alistair was going to look at jumping on me under the tower there, but he didn't end up doing it. I don't know if he's in this bush or not, but it doesn't look like he is. No, he's right there. Oh. Oh, I thought that blinding would hit her, and Morgana's just going to get the kill again. Morgana also keeps taking the kills, which is very unfortunate for me. But she should potentially be able to get this Alistair with the Ignite. No, not quite. But every time we're about to get a kill, the Morgana has also taken it from me, which has not been good. We've managed to get 6 kills in the lane, but Morgana's gotten every single one of them. So, just not very good overall. So I will go for... No, I will just go for the Caulfield's Warhammer here and try and pick up a couple of control wards. And I will head down into the mid lane, I think, because the Pantheon is going to die here, so we will just go and pick up this farm in the mid lane, I think. Nasus hopefully will be able to get out of this, but it doesn't look like he's going to, so... Oh, and he also got CC'd there, so he wasn't able to just insta-kill the Kindred, unfortunately. We did manage to get the Ashe with Kha'Zix. That's okay. Not too bad overall. And we will just look to try and get some damage on this tower. Okay, the Lix is here again, so we will have to just back off a little bit. And we'll just get a little bit of damage off onto there. Kha'Zix is onto the dragon, so we'll head down over there and start placing our vision around. We might even be able to... Oh, this is a problem now. Again, just me playing too aggressively, I think. Yep, and it looks like Kha'Zix has sort of just decided to leave as well. The Alistair turned around for some reason. Honestly, I probably should have died there. I guess he was worried about the TP coming in. But, honestly, this... Oh, okay, Kindred was there. I should have, again, been dead there. Does Kindred have ult? She doesn't have ult by the looks of it. So this is a game where I'm just going to have to let my team carry me the entire time, basically. Just because of how I've played it. A couple of unfortunate situations that have been out of my control, but a lot of it was just me misplaying. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get insta-ulted by the Ashe and the Malphite there. But again, if they're going to focus everything onto me, then my team can kind of clean up as well. So, I'm not going to complain too much, I suppose. But yeah, ideally I would be doing a lot better here. Nasus is also just going to be able to sustain off of those minions, and they're going to be able to kill the Lux. For the Pantheon, again, not really sure if that's necessarily a good trade or not, but we will take it. And Kha'Zix is also just away getting the Rift Herald here. So, looking at where's the best place for me to go right now, honestly probably just try and take some jungle camps, because there's no real safe places to farm. So, those are kind of my best bet. I will head over to the Gromp first. Even though Kindred's nowhere near it, it is her mark, so just focus on getting that out of the way, I suppose. Just root it here so that it can't really walk too close to us. We'll pick that up, and we'll pick up these wolves. So this is a very big contrast to the last game where I did a lot of work on Xayah. I'm doing very little work now on the Xayah. It's okay. All my Xayah games have been pretty terrible actually so far in the pre-season / season 11. So she's potentially a champion that I should look at not really leaving in my champion pool for too long. Because if I'm going to keep playing like this, then it will just end up being not very beneficial for me. But as I said before, I also do feel like it's not necessarily Xayah being a bad champion, it's just sort of the way I'm playing it. So, in the same vein, if I can sort of just step up the play a little bit, then she could also end up being very beneficial for me to have, because of the safety that her ult provides and stuff like that. And Xayah used to be one of my best AD carries, so yeah, and she's definitely one of the ones I have the most fun with. So I need to be a little bit careful with Malphite here because he has shown time and time again that he will just insta-ult me even though I'm not a threat to them at all. So we're just going to walk away from this fight and let my team just do the rest of the stuff. And we're also not going to try and take their red buff or anything. And we will place our control ward in this bush just to see if there are any wards here while we're back. Doesn't look like there are. And I should be able to get out of here without having to stop my back, which is good. And I'll grab my Berserker's Greaves there, so I can be a little bit faster. Heading back into probably the top lane, actually, is where I should be heading right now. Because the Baron is around, and their minion wave is going to be pushing into us by the looks of things. Because our cannon will die soon. So we will just head up towards there. There's nothing for us to do in the bottom lane. Kha'Zix needs to be a little bit careful, I suppose. Oh, there was some interesting flashes going on there. Malphite is going to TP in there. Kindred is around here. Okay, there goes Malphite. Oh, so that's one thing I have to worry about a little bit less. Okay, hopefully I can come over here and help secure a couple of kills. Ah, oh, I failed that flash so bad. That was such a bad flash. Ooh, okay, I'm not going to be able to get anything. Just not a very good game for me right now. So they are going to surrender. By no good plays of my own, but just purely by my team carrying me that game. And in with 0 kills and 7 deaths. That is the worst game I've played in ages, but oh well. Sometimes that kind of stuff just happens, and it's just better to use that to figure out what better to do next time. I will give the honour to the Nasus because he did play very, very well. Give a quick sorry team to my team there, because honestly I did just play the game atrociously. So again, Xayah is potentially something that I should look at maybe removing from my champion pool, but yeah, we'll make that decision at another point. Try and play other champions apart from her for now. I did still do more damage than the mid laner, which is good, and the jungler actually. But again, that's not really me playing well, that's just more my team making it so that they weren't able to play very well. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to either like or subscribe, or potentially even do both. If you did enjoy it and you do want to see more. And yeah, I hope you guys just enjoy the next video on the channel as well. Catch you later.